There comes a moment in every life when the weight feels too heavy, when the questions are louder than the answers, and when you silently wonder, why is this happening to me? We tend to label those moments as failures, setbacks, or bad luck. But what if the very thing you are calling a problem is actually life preparing you for something greater? Most of us are taught to avoid struggle. We're taught to seek comfort, stability, and certainty. But growth does not live in comfort. Transformation does not happen in ease. The most defining moments of your life are often born in confusion, pain, and unexpected hardship. Not because life is cruel, but because struggle has a way of waking you up. Think about it. True, when everything is going well, we rarely pause to reflect, to question, or to evolve. It is only when life disrupts us that we are forced to look inward. Problems push us to discover strengths we didn't know we had. They force us to develop resilience, courage, and wisdom. Without challenge, potential stays dormant. Your problems refine you. They strip away what is unnecessary and reveal what truly matters. A closed door teaches discernment. A failure teaches humility and persistence. A heartbreak teaches self-worth and boundaries. A loss teaches gratitude and purpose. None of these lessons come gently, but all of them come bearing gifts. What you go through is not random. The experiences that hurt you the most often shape the voice you will one day use to help others. Your pain gives you empathy. Your struggle gives you depth. Your survival gives you authority. One day, someone will need the wisdom you gained from what almost broke you. The mistake we make is believing that our current circumstances define our future. They don't, they prepare it. Life isn't happening to you. It's responding to who you are becoming. When you stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this here to teach me? Everything changes. The moment you shift your perspective, your problems lose their power to defeat you and gain the power to direct you. What once felt like an obstacle becomes a doorway. What once felt like a burden becomes a calling. What once felt like a weakness becomes your greatest strength. So don't shrink in the face of difficulty. Don't silence your story. Stand in it, learn from it, grow through it, because on the other side of every challenge is a version of you that is wiser, stronger, and more aligned with your purpose. Remember this: the struggle you're in today may be the foundation of the success, impact, and fulfillment you experience tomorrow. Your biggest problems are not signs to stop. They are invitations to rise. Every major problem you face in life arrives with a purpose, even if that purpose is not immediately clear. When challenges first appear, they often feel overwhelming, unfair, and deeply personal. In those moments, it is natural to believe that life is working against you. However, the truth is that problems are not designed to destroy you. They are designed to develop you. Hidden within every difficulty is a lesson that is shaping your character, strengthening your mindset, and preparing you for the next level of your life. Problems act as teachers. They arrive unannounced, they disrupt comfort, and they demand attention. Unlike easy moments, problems force you to pause, reflect, and evaluate who you are and how you respond to pressure. They reveal your habits, your beliefs, and your emotional patterns. When life is smooth, you move forward on autopilot, but when trouble comes, you are pushed to grow consciously. That growth may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the price of transformation. Many people waste energy asking, why is this happening to me? Instead of asking, what is this here to teach me? That single shift in perspective can change everything. A setback may be teaching patience. A failure may be teaching resilience. A rejection may be teaching self-worth. A loss may be teaching gratitude. These lessons are not gentle, but they are necessary. Without them, you remain the same person, repeating the same cycles, and expecting different results. Problems also expose your inner strength. You never truly know how capable you are until you are tested. When life demands more than you think you can give, something powerful happens. You discover reserves of courage, creativity, and determination you didn't know existed. What once felt impossible slowly becomes manageable, and then eventually, it becomes proof of your strength. This is how confidence is built, not through comfort, but through survival and growth. Another important truth is that problems refine your priorities. They strip away distractions and force you to focus on what truly matters. When everything is taken away or challenged, you begin to understand what is essential and what is not. You learn where to invest your energy, who truly belongs in your life, and what values you are unwilling to compromise. In this way, problems clarify your direction and sharpen your purpose. It is also important to understand that growth does not happen instantly. Lessons unfold over time. Sometimes you only recognize the value of a problem years later, when you look back and realize that without that hardship, you would not be where you are today. What once felt like a curse becomes a turning point. What once caused pain becomes the reason you evolved. If you allow your problems to harden you, they will break you. But if you allow them to humble you, teach you, and expand you, they will elevate you. Growth is a choice. You can resist the lesson, or you can receive it. Life will keep presenting the same challenges until the lesson is learned. When you finally learn it, the problem loses its power over you. Remember, you are not defined by the problems you face. You are defined by what you become because of them. Every major problem carries a hidden lesson, and that lesson is shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more purposeful version of yourself. Pain has a way of interrupting the life we planned and redirecting us toward the life we are meant to live. Comfort keeps us settled, familiar, and often stagnant, while pain shakes the foundation of what we thought was safe. Most people do not change when life is easy. They change when staying the same becomes more painful than moving forward. This is why some of the most meaningful transformations begin in moments of deep discomfort. When everything feels comfortable, there is little motivation to question your path. You may follow routines, expectations, or dreams that are not truly yours. Comfort can quietly trap you in a life that looks acceptable from the outside but feels empty on the inside. Pain, however, refuses to let you ignore that emptiness. It demands your attention. It forces you to listen to the quiet voice within that says, "There must be more than this." Pain strips away illusions. It exposes what no longer fits, what is no longer aligned, and what you have outgrown. A failed relationship may reveal the kind of love you truly deserve. A career setback may reveal a calling you were too afraid to pursue. A personal loss may awaken compassion and depth you never knew you had. These moments hurt, but they also illuminate truth. Pain does not lie. It shows you exactly where change is needed. Often, pain arrives when you have been ignoring your inner guidance for too long. It becomes a signal, not a punishment. Life is saying, "This path is not sustainable," or "This version of you has reached its limit." In this way, pain becomes a redirection. It pushes you away from what is draining you and toward what can fulfill you. Without pain, many people would remain stuck in situations that slowly diminish their spirit. There is also a quiet strength that is born only through pain. When you survive something difficult, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself. You learn that you can endure, adapt, and rise again. This strength is not loud or aggressive, it is steady and grounded. It changes how you see yourself and how you approach future challenges. Pain teaches you resilience, and resilience becomes a foundation for purpose. Pain also connects you to others. The more you have suffered, the more compassion you carry. You begin to recognize pain in others, and you respond with empathy instead of judgment. This is often how purpose reveals itself. Through most people spend their lives trying to avoid struggle. They pray for an easier path, a lighter burden, and fewer challenges. Yet the very struggles you are running from are often the exact experiences shaping you for something greater. Struggle is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are being prepared. Life does not train you in moments of ease. It trains you in moments of resistance, pressure, and uncertainty. Struggle builds strength in ways comfort never can. Just as muscles grow through resistance, character grows through challenge. When everything comes easily, there is no need to develop discipline, patience, or courage. But when life demands more than you feel ready to give, you are forced to rise. You learn how to push through fear, how to stand when you want to quit, and how to keep going even when the outcome is unclear. These qualities are not optional for greatness, they are essential. Every struggle sharpens a skill within you. Financial hardship teaches resourcefulness. Emotional pain teaches self-awareness. Failure teaches perseverance. Rejection teaches resilience. Each difficulty adds a layer to who you are becoming. Even when it feels like nothing is improving, something inside you is evolving. The struggle is doing its work quietly, strengthening you from the inside out. What many people don't realize is that the challenges you face are often customized for your growth. Life prepares you specifically for the role you are meant to play. If you are meant to lead, you will be tested. If you are meant to inspire, you will endure hardship. If you are meant to guide others, you will walk through darkness first. Your struggle is not random. It is relevant to your future. The urge to escape struggle is natural, but escaping too soon can rob you of your potential. When you avoid challenges, you also avoid the lessons that come with them. Growth requires staying present, learning, and adapting. The moment you stop running and start learning, the struggle begins to transform. What once felt like punishment begins to feel like preparation. Struggle also builds credibility. One day, people will listen to you not because of your success, but because of what you survived. Your experiences will give weight to your words. Your journey will give others hope. The battles you fought in silence will become the strength someone else needs to keep going. This is how struggle turns into impact. It is important to remember that greatness is not built in a single moment. It is built over time, through repeated tests of character. Every obstacle you overcome adds confidence. Every setback you survive adds wisdom. Every life is made up of chapters, some filled with joy and success, others marked by struggle, loss, and uncertainty. Most people want to hide the hard chapters. They believe their pain disqualifies them, that their mistakes weaken their value, or that their struggles make them less worthy of being heard. But the truth is exactly the opposite. Your story, especially the parts that hurt the most, carries the power to heal, guide, and strengthen others. The difficult chapters of your life give you depth. They shape your understanding of the human experience in a way comfort never can. When you have struggled, you see life differently. You listen more carefully. You judge less harshly. You understand that everyone is fighting a battle that may not be visible. This depth allows you to connect with others on a level that goes beyond surface conversations. People do not connect to perfection, they connect to authenticity. Your pain becomes meaningful when it is shared with purpose. The moment you speak honestly about what you have endured, you give others permission to do the same. Someone listening to your story may finally feel seen, understood, and less alone. They may realize that their pain is not a personal failure, but a shared human experience. In this way, your vulnerability becomes a bridge, turning isolation into connection. Hard chapters also give your words credibility. Advice given from theory is easily ignored, but wisdom gained through experience carries weight. When you speak from lived struggle, people listen differently. They know you are not speaking from a place of judgment, but from understanding. Your scars become proof that survival is possible, that healing happens, and that growth can come from even the darkest moments. Many people discover their purpose through their pain. A difficult childhood may inspire someone to protect and uplift others. A personal loss may awaken compassion and service. A failure may ignite a passion to teach and guide. Pain has a way of pointing you toward what matters most. It shows you where your heart is needed, and where your voice can make a difference. In this way, your story becomes more than personal history, it becomes a calling. It is important to understand that you do not need to have everything figured out to help someone else. You do not need to be fully healed to be helpful. Sometimes, simply sharing that you are still learning and growing is enough. Strength does not mean the absence of pain. It means choosing to rise with honesty and courage. When people see your growth and progress, it inspires them to believe in their own. Your hard chapters also remind others that setbacks are not the end of the story. When you speak about how you kept going, how you learned, and how you changed, you offer hope. You show that failure is not final, that detours can lead to new destinations, and that broken moments can still lead to beautiful outcomes. Hope is one of the greatest gifts you can give, and it often comes from those who have known despair. Do not underestimate the power of your journey. What you survived was not meaningless. Your experiences have shaped you for a reason. When you choose to share your story with courage, the way you interpret your problems determines the direction of your life. Two people can face the same challenge, yet experience completely different outcomes. Not because the situation is different, but because their perspective is different. Problems in themselves are neutral. They do not define you, defeat you, or limit you. It is the meaning you assign to them that gives them power. When you change how you see your problems, you change what becomes possible for you. Most people view problems as evidence that something has gone wrong. They see difficulty as a sign of failure, bad luck, or personal inadequacy. This mindset creates fear, resistance, and self-doubt. When you believe a problem is here to stop you, you shrink. You hesitate. You begin to question your worth and ability. But when you shift your perspective and see problems as opportunities for growth, learning, and redirection, your response changes. You move from fear to curiosity, from avoidance to action. Perspective is a choice. You may not be able to control what happens to you, but you always have control over how you interpret it. A setback can be seen as rejection, or it can be seen as redirection. A failure can be seen as proof that you are not enough, or as feedback guiding you toward improvement. This shift does not remove the challenge, but it removes its power to define your future. When you change your perspective, you also change your behavior. Instead of asking, "How do I get out of this?" you begin asking, "How do I grow through this?" That question opens doors. It leads to new strategies, new skills, and new ways of thinking. Problems become puzzles to solve rather than walls to stop you. This mindset turns obstacles into stepping stones. Seeing problems differently also expands your sense of possibility. Many breakthroughs are born from moments of struggle. Some of the most innovative ideas, meaningful relationships, and life-changing decisions come from times when things did not go according to plan. Problems force you to think creatively, to adapt, and to explore paths you might never have considered. Without difficulty, many opportunities would remain hidden. Another powerful shift happens when you stop personalizing your problems. Not every challenge is a reflection of your worth. Sometimes, problems are simply part of growth. When you detach your identity from your struggles, you gain clarity. You stop seeing yourself as the problem and start seeing the problem as something you can work with. This separation restores confidence and empowers action. Changing how you see your problems also builds resilience. Each time you face a challenge with a growth mindset, you reinforce the belief that you can handle adversity. Over time, this belief becomes unshakable. You no longer fear problems because you trust yourself to navigate them. This inner confidence becomes a foundation for success, fulfillment, and purpose. Ultimately, life does not change because your problems disappear. Life changes because you do. When your mindset evolves, your world responds differently. What once felt impossible begins to feel achievable. What once felt overwhelming becomes manageable. By changing how you see your problems, you unlock new possibilities, new strength, and a new version of yourself. In the end, life is not defined by the absence of problems, but by the meaning we choose to give them. Every challenge you face carries a lesson, a redirection, a preparation, and a purpose. The pain that once felt unbearable becomes the teacher that shaped your strength. The struggle you tried to escape becomes the training ground that revealed your greatness. The hard chapters of your story become the very words that give others hope. When you stop resisting your problems and start listening to them, everything changes. You realize that nothing you went through was wasted. Every setback refined you. Every failure redirected you. Every moment of doubt strengthened your faith in yourself. What once threatened to break you was actually building the foundation for who you are becoming. So stand tall in the face of difficulty. Trust that life is working for you, not against you. Embrace the lessons, honor the journey, and believe in your ability to rise. Because when you look back, you will see that your biggest problems were never obstacles at all. They were the gateways to your greatest opportunities.